my name is Lady and this is my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for pressing play on my video, and I hope that it will be worth it. First of all, guys, like, this is a big deal for me, but my previous video is currently, as I'm shooting this video, it's currently on 14,700 subscribers. So I just want to give a big thank you to everyone who watched my video. Thank you to everyone who subscribed. We are officially on the road to 2,000 subscribers, so thank you so much, guys. You have no idea how my heart is full. So back to the video. As you can see by the title, and because most people requested that I do this video in the comment section on my previous video, I decided to do a video on how my husband and I planned our wedding, how we budgeted for it, and a few tips maybe that you can use for your wedding that's coming up in the next however months. So just a disclaimer before we even go into the video, guys. So my husband and I had a traditional wedding, and if I'm being honest, the wedding almost cost us 50,000. It was, yeah, more or less 50k, but it does not have to cost that much, especially for a traditional wedding. But it really goes with personal preference. There are certain things that we kept adding on that led to the amount being 50k, but there's certain things that you can compromise. So it's not a one size fits all thing. It's just me giving you a few tips that, you know, I'm hoping will help you in one way or the other. So I'm just going to start with, like, I'm going to go like with everything that we did for the wedding, give you the cost, the suppliers, and the experience and whatnot. And also to the ladies watching this now, one thing that I can assure you is your fiance or your husband won't be as hands-on as you are when planning the wedding. I think that's one thing that I struggled with when I was planning the wedding, because at some point I felt like, oh my husband is not really being supportive and whatnot, but he had his own way of, you know, how he was sorting things out for the wedding. So just a disclaimer, and don't get touched when, you know, your partner is not as hands-on as you are, because naturally as women we are planners and we always just want to have things figured out, and men are just usually just, you know, relaxed and whatnot. So into the video, guys. One thing that I can tell you is there's no shame in paying things in installment. You don't have to have the money right there and then and pay things off. That's one thing that worked for my husband and I when we were planning this wedding. Like, we would pay things hanyani. Like, if there's a certain amount that we have, we would, divide it amongst the different things that we had to pay for the wedding, which made it easier for us, because towards the wedding, it was only a certain portion that was left, right? And then the other thing is that choose your suppliers, right? There's like, compare, look for suppliers, get quotes and compare, but make sure you get the right suppliers. One thing that I was blessed with for our wedding was I got the most amazing suppliers. Like, I didn't have any wedding moves whereby a supplier disappointed me in the sense that it ruined my day. So yeah, make sure that you choose the right suppliers. And yeah, guys, going into the first thing that my husband and I, when we were planning the wedding, is that we made like basically a priority list, like starting with what is the most important thing for our wedding, going down with the least important. So for us, it started with the decor, the food, photography, our outfits, and then everything else came, you know, after that. So that's how we had a benchmark of what we can compromise on, what we cannot compromise on. So for example, the one thing that we compromised on, or said that it's not really a must for us to have, is that yeah. So okay, so the one thing that we didn't have a problem compromising was having videography on our wedding day. So yeah, just have a priority list as to what is important, what is not, what can you cut back on, what can you not, what things can you go for the cheaper suppliers, and what things, you know, are you not willing to compromise on, if that makes any sense. So the first thing obviously was deco, and with us, we were blessed that the lady who was doing our wedding is actually from my husband's church. So she gave us a really good price, a price that most likely she won't give to other people. So but that really was amazing. So our wedding initially we were catering for 50 people because of, you know, COVID regulations, and then, you know, it was announced that we can have weddings of up to, I think it was 250 at the time, 500, I'm not too sure, I can't remember. So we decided that we'll have a wedding of 100. But obviously a township wedding, guys, we had more than that. Like, we ended up adding another table, and then after adding an extra table, we had to get like a pallet set up just to cater for people. So initially, eventually the seating for our, decor was for about, I think, 140 or 150 people, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not going to tell you how much it cost in case you guys want to contact her and you want the same price. Just contact her. She's really good. I'll write her name down right here, but it's Komu Decor and Decorations. She's an amazing woman. She gives excellent service. She goes above and beyond. You don't even have to worry about what decor what late on your wedding. That's one thing I can tell you. And she's based in Hammanskraal, but obviously she travels because our wedding was in Mabopane, and she really does weddings in and around Pretoria, Gauteng, and all that. And then the other thing on our priority list was the photography. By the way, guys, as you can see, the quality of my video, like, guys, I'm sure you can see the difference of my previous video and this. So the guy is actually shooting my content right now, is my photographer for my wedding, which is Mamu Visuals. He's very good, guys. Check him out on Instagram. He's so amazing. And I'm also not going to give you his prices because he knows us personally. So the price that he gave us was because, we are his people. But yeah, guys, his quality is amazing. Check him out on Facebook and Instagram. You'll see. We also saw wedding pictures. Not that I'm blowing our own horn, but you know what I'm saying. And then the other thing that was on our priority list was outfits. So our outfits, I found the lady on Instagram, like on the explore page. I saw a nice outfit, and then I actually saw her name is Mansu. Amazing woman. She's also based in Mabopane, and both my husband and I's outfits, I think it was 4.5, which was quite reasonable, because when I was making codes for the dress, because I didn't want to go all out for my dress, so when I was making codes for my dress, like, I got a lot of codes for like 8,000, 10,000. I was like, no, I'm not going to spend that much on an outfit. So she gave us an amazing price, and our outfits ultimately, it was beautiful. We did not compromise on that. So I'm going to link every supplier down in the description box as well for your convenience. And then the other thing was sound. I think, if I'm being honest, sound is the one thing that I wish I did not compromise on for our wedding, in a sense that the sound was 2,000, but yeah, need jumpy so sound 2,000, if I'm being honest, because in the beginning, it was a lot of issues, that thing before the event starts, the DJ is busy trying to figure out what song to play, and it was not so good. It only got good later once they figured out what the problem was. So I did not really like that. I was a bit uneasy on the day of the wedding, and I'm a very pedantic person, so it was a big deal, why is the sound not doing the things on my wedding? You know what I'm saying? But it's not a big deal. And then the other thing was cake. Our cake supplier was also from Mabopane. It's Sina's Exquisite Cakes and Supply and Decor. Yeah, Exquisite Cakes and Decor. And the cake cost us 2.3, if I'm not mistaken. And the nice thing about her is that when you go for a mock-up, she does not even charge you for that. Usually when you go to places like cake tastings, you have to pay a certain amount for cake tastings. With her, just order whatever flavors you want and then give her the design, and she delivered right on time. It wasn't even a problem with her. Her service was exquisite. So the next thing on my list is hair and beauty. So the nice thing with me is that the people who did my hair and makeup was people that I knew. For example, the lady who did my hair was someone that I knew. It's my friend Tiho, and the hair literally cost me 270, but it looked very classy. My makeup cost me 450. It was by Buntle, a friend of mine, and then obviously my nails, lashes, and in total for hair and beauty it cost me 1.5, 1.6. And yeah, I was doing codes for makeup, and other suppliers were charging me like 800 rand for makeup, you know. So obviously, like I said, there's certain things that you would want to compromise, certain things you wouldn't want to compromise. But personally, I felt like for what I wanted and what I was getting, like that was how much I was willing to spend. And obviously with makeup, we did a makeup trial so that we can know exactly what kind of look we're going for. So make sure that if you're booking someone for makeup, you do a trial so that you are not surprised on the day of your wedding, okay? And then the next thing on my list was like the smolangana stuff, guys, like mobile toilets. These are like important stuff that we actually forget, because these are things I remembered the week of the wedding, like mobile toilet and all of that. So our mobile toilet was by, I forgot the name, but I'll write the name down when I forget, but this when I remember. But this lady from Hammanskraal, and renting the mobile toilet for the day was like 880. And she also rents out like a mobile fridge, which I wish we did, because you know, like weddings go guys, there's drinks there, all of a sudden the drinks have disappeared, you don't know where they went. So that was the case with my wedding. Like we had a lot of drinks, then all of a sudden how the drinks are short, how I don't understand. So with the mobile fridge, it makes your life easier because everything is there and one person is, you know, delegated to do that. So I would recommend that you do that. And her prices are very reasonable. I wrote down her name and number so that you can contact her if you want, but I would recommend that you do. And then the other smallangana stuff was drinks and water. So one thing my husband and I did was, even months before the wedding, we started buying certain stuff. For example, the drinks, I think I bought them 2 months before the wedding. And for the number of cans that we had, like we obviously, like, first of all, we did not have a budget for alcohol on our wedding because my husband and I don't drink. So yeah, even that expectation was not there. And obviously that's one way that we saved when it came to, you know, our budget and whatnot. So we did not buy any alcohol. Like there's like a tavern 2 houses away from my house, so if anyone wanted alcohol, they were more than welcome to go and buy their own. But for the drinks, we bought them at Macro, and it was like 1.5 for like 200 and something cans, if I'm not mistaken. And then we had personalized bottles of water for 200 bottles, which was 1.3, and we got them personalized from Komana and Maila manufacturers. I'll link their details down below as well. They give exceptional service and they served us very, very well. Okay, and then the next thing on our list is the grocery. So a backstory with this is that initially we had a caterer who was, you know, going to handle everything, like the food station, you know, the whole 9 yards. And then she charged us like 14,000, which was including the grocery. And then we went for food tastings and it was a no. I was like, that's one thing I was not going to compromise for our wedding, because linyalo ke dijo, like we all know that. So then plan B was my husband's aunt, who also does catering. But on the day, honestly, I wanted our families to just relax and enjoy the day. So I told her that no, I'm getting a caterer so that she can rest. But we ended up using her anyway because family is family, I guess. So then on the day, she did the food, everything, the food station, the whole 9 yards. And I just bought grocery, and in total the grocery cost me like 4,500, I think. Yeah, it cost us 4,500. Baby, the grocery cost us 4,500, and that was excluding the meat. Our families handled, you know, the meat which was chicken and stew. Yeah, so Auskolu is the one who handled the whole thing. I think you saw her in my video, the one who was looking very tired. She's the one who worked very hard to make sure that everyone was fed. So yeah, still very grateful today. So the next thing is that we had to rent out like plates and chafing dishes for, you know, the food, obviously, because the caterer was not doing that anymore. So we had to rent them out, and I got them from CHG, and everything cost us, I think, 950, and that was for plates and chafing dishes, and I think a few serving spoons as well. So yeah, guys, I think that's about it. There are certain things obviously that I left out. For example, like we like, oh yeah, table numbers and table program for the wedding, which cost us 1,000 rand in total, but I made the designs myself. That's one way that I was efficient, because having someone design the stuff for me was going to cost me an arm and a leg, because I did codes. So I just used Canva, made my own table numbers design, and made my own design for the programs, and I just got them printed by this other company, Glossy Paper Designs. But their service was not so good, honestly, throughout. So their work is nice, but their service is not great. And for me to go back to a supplier is because of their service. The service comes before the product, personally, for me. But you're more than welcome to take them out. The work was nice, but the service was not to do. Like, they made spelling errors on my table program, and when I told them about it, they literally ignored me, did not even try to do anything to fix it and whatnot. And so it just turned me off. But it was just a small mistake, but because I'm pedantic, it was kind of a big deal. But yeah, it cost me like 1,000 rand to print those out, and that's basically it. I think that's about it, guys. But more than anything, our family's support helped us to have the wedding eventually, and just being patient with ourselves. And like, Nana, my husband, one thing we did was pressure for one day. That's why we told ourselves that we are not even going to get a loan or borrow money in order for us to have our wedding. That is why the one thing that we said we're going to do is that we're going to have a debt-free wedding, no matter how hard, like no matter how difficult. There are certain things, like when we got engaged, my husband was like, we are no longer going on date nights because we have a wedding to plan. We're no longer doing this and that. There are certain things that we had to cut back on from the time that we got engaged leading up to the wedding, in order for us to have the wedding. So it really just took a lot of discipline, and a lot of dedication, commitment, I guess, if I can say, to the end product. So us not going out, that money being directed to something for the wedding, eventually helped us have the day as successful as it was. And yeah, that's one thing that I will tell you guys: please don't take out a loan or borrow money for just it's not even one day, it's a few hours, because like our wedding was done by 6 o'clock. We were done. So imagine Rizia loan for something that just takes a few hours. It's really not worth it. If you cannot afford to have something, don't have it. If you cannot afford to have your wedding at a particular time, continue saving, continue waiting until you are at the right place. But yeah, that's really just basically it. I planned my whole wedding, from the day that I got engaged. I started planning my wedding, so didn't have a plan or anything, and I really enjoyed it. So if you don't enjoy the whole planning process and it's daunting, maybe get someone who enjoys doing all of that. I wouldn't recommend a wedding planner, but if you have the budget, like, hey, why not? Especially for a traditional wedding, but to each their own. And yeah, guys, I really hope this video was helpful. Let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to do or to cover in regards to our wedding. But I think I covered it all. I gave you the cost of every supplier. I gave you the names of the suppliers, and that's as much as I can go. But like I mentioned, guys, your wedding does not have to be expensive. It just goes with personal preference, and like I said, your priority list. What are you willing to compromise? What are you saying, nope, I'm not going to compromise on that? But I hope that you enjoyed this video, guys. If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed, I'm giving you a moment right now to press that subscribe button. Ne, up. Okay, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope I'll see you in my next video. I'm open to suggestions as to what videos you want me to make, because I want to give the people what they want. But I hope that you enjoyed this video, guys. Okay, bye. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.